And we've returned for part two of our retrospective of. Oh, it's not the retrospective yet, but a look back at CV12. We left with my Gemini, which is the sixth file, so we're going right into the seventh. In the beginning of the sixth file is when we saw, when we ended up seeing a car flying by the road, down the highway, and a static version of Britney Spears' "Work Bitches" playing, which I love. I don't know why I did that. And what ended up happening was it was Sebastian, and we are getting the aftermath of all the way in CV1, because Sebastian was the sole survivor. I was so happy to get Jackson on this for just a little bit. So basically, Sebastian was, when he finished the vines, it was clear that it seemed like there was something going on with his eye, that maybe one of the vines had made it into his bloodstream, perhaps behind his eye. So he began to have flashbacks of his school time, and so some of the old characters come back. I revived Krista. Zane came back, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to see all these characters. Messi was back, young Messi. We love Messi. And yeah, so we got little flashbacks into back in the school days before all of them were killed by either vines or people from the village. And Sebastian was having these weird flashbacks where he would see the characters normal, and then he would see them in their death state, as it were, I guess I'll call it. And he in the real world, he tries to stop at a gas station, where he turns around and he finds Chico working at the gas station, or is just shopping at the gas station, and he's looking for bandages because he's very bloodied up, and he doesn't say anything, and he looks around, and Messi and Chico are just talking about something random, and it seems like he's in some sort of weird dream fugue state, and eventually he leaves as little drops of blood drip from his shoulder, and he keeps seeing the vine like going over his eye. He can't figure out what it is. And eventually he hauls up in a cave. He goes into this cave, and he has a little flashback back to when he was with his dad. And this is interesting. So he came from two dads who were very close to getting divorced. They're not doing well, and one of the things one of his dads would do was that he would go out into his garden. He would show Sebastian how to play in this garden, and in Sebastian's flashback, he sees that the vines were in his father's garden, but he can't tell if it's like a revisionist memory or if he actually had vines. So it's kind of unclear whether or not like the vines have been in his life all along, or if the vines had just creeped their way into his memories and rewriting them. And eventually, Sebastian comes around the corner. There's no plant on the ground. Yeah, so Sebastian sits on the cave floor, holds a knife point over his eye, and screams. So it's assumed that Sebastian has cut out his own eye, which leads us to the next file, which is ensanglante, which is French for covered in blood or drenched in blood, something like that. And excuse me, very phlegmy throat today. Let me see this one. So this one was interesting. Oh yeah, Zoe's back. So this one was interesting because we had a family of like a military family, all from, I forget what country, somewhere in South America, where CV1 took place. Anyway, so we have the Rivieras. It's a family who they are going to spread their mother's ashes, I believe. I believe they're spreading their mother's ashes in this cave. They're sort of a family of people who like to spelunk. I guess they're out there. I don't know. Wouldn't be me. So we see the return of Swift playing the eldest. We have, let me see, we have, where's he at? I forgot all the names. JC, TC, let me see. There's some other ones. Yeah, so we have Swift and Jesse playing the two eldest, who come down. One is Javi, that's Swift's character. Javi. TC is Jesse's character. That's right. So Javi and TC come down and make sure the other siblings get down later. This is one of the times we had some new CV players. Maddie came down playing Theron. And we had Felix coming down playing Maria. And eventually, with all of them after that, who was that? Everybody? Oh yeah, Thomas, played by Canis. This is Canis making his CV debut, which is very, very cool. And then Leah with William. I think that was everybody. And yeah, so no, that's Annie Carrot. Came down playing the youngest, I believe, Maya. So family, big old family. So they go into this cave, and this is the one I have the hardest time remembering. Maya, little Maya. This is the one I have the hardest time remembering because a lot of little details happen, and I might get a lot of this wrong, but there's a lot of talk in this one as well. So they get to the bottom of the cave, or the one of the bottom areas of the cave, and they have their mother's ashes in an urn. And Maya notices that there's a little slip of paper under the urn lid. Why they never noticed that before, I don't know, but it's a map. And so we see that there's some sort of map to the cave where they can use it. So this is a very clearly planned burial that she wanted to do, or spreading of ashes. So once they get there, they hear some sounds. It's a cave. Sounds happen. And finally, they get into a large room, a la Assassin's Creed, with pillars and little pressure points that they can step on. And it asks them a bunch of questions. So it seems like this really this kind of game showy kind of thing. A lot of people thought this was related to circles at some point, which it wasn't intentionally, but I mean, I'll take it, I guess. I don't know. So as they use these little consoles that they can erupt these platforms so that lead them closer to this other door. So they're either choose. There's two paths they can take. There's one that I believe it's like head and heart or something like that. It's let me see. It's there's two. It's one that asks questions about one that asks like love questions, and one that asks like hate questions or something. I can't remember what it was. But can't remember. I don't remember. So they anyway they choose one of the two options, and they go to the right. I don't remember they went to the right. Oh, it was a heart symbol and a fire symbol. That's what it was. A heart symbol and a fire symbol. And they end up taking. Let me see. I think they end up taking the fire symbol. I remember the fire symbol was on the right. But anyway, they take one of the sides, and so a new console comes up, and let me see what because it was asked a question. I believe there's a question that rearranges itself. Yeah, bridges created in front of the fire pad. They chose the fire side. That's right. And then The console remains dark. There's a lot of rotting smells, by the way, around, which is interesting. The console arranges the letters and put themselves back to the original. Let's see. So we still have yet to answer the question. So, it's all in Spanish. I forgot. It's all in Spanish. God damn it. Okay, I need to translate these. God damn it, I can't believe it. Let me translate it quickly. Oh yeah, so the first question is which of the brothers is hated the most by mom? And so they all have to decide who is the most hated. And when they say the correct answer, then the path opens up for them. And I think they ended up answering because I think TC didn't really like his mom very much. Yeah, they couldn't figure it out. The console remains dark. Console remains dark. William steps in front of his siblings in the line. The console lights up. So it seems it was William. And then it asks for the weakest child. It asks which child is the weakest as they move on. And the answer they give is William again. So William, it lights up as William comes. Oh, William comes the line leader. That's what it is. And the console remains dark. Console remains dark. And I think, who did they end up saying? Oh, here we go. Who was the weakest? I can't remember. So long ago. William. So they say William again. That's what it was. So William is the most hated and the weakest, apparently. So they move on once again. The bridge is leading them closer to the door. There's 3 more consoles. And then I can't remember the last one is. They keep going and who is the Hermanos? Let me see. This one. I'm going to translate this one really quick. Which of the siblings will not carry on the Riviera lineage? That was the one. The Riviera lineage. That's what it was. Who won't carry on the bloodline? And I don't know who they ended up saying. Javi. I think it might have been Javi. I think for that one. Oh no, Maya. Maya was the one for that one. And then they do a couple more of these, and they finally get to the door, and they find their father, which is amazing because they did not know their father was still alive because he went missing for a while, and he's weak to a point, and eventually TC, who played by Jesse, punches his father, who hated him, and they get into a scuffle. And the father seems a little bit like seems kind of out of it. He's not. He seems not very with it. He seems sort of discombobulated and old and emaciated. And there's a bunch of things that are in cages in the back of this room. And the father says it is time for her to accept my seed. And so he's trying to rise off the ground after TC punches him. And he tries to crawl to this, whatever's in this cage. Excuse me. The siblings are trying to hold him back. And as he breaks away and he tries to get closer, they see that it is one of these, which I'm going to post in the chat. Very, very scary. Jump scare. Basically like a Wendigo-like creature. And the this fucking creature. So the dad. Oh, look, it's my ex. So the dad essentially is trying to impregnate this creature. A lot of pregnancy going on in the CV, like always. And so he's trying to fight all of his children and say, no, you don't understand. She needs my seed right now. And he keeps trying to, TC and his father keep trying to fight. And eventually the creature cries and gets a little riled up. And the cage begins to rattle a bit more. And I keep rolling. And I keep rolling. And it seems like the cage is a little bit, it's getting a little shaky over there. And at this point, the creature busts through the cave when I roll a 12. And for this CV, it was a D12 all the way because 12 CV. And so the creature eventually busts completely through the cave. And this was one of the most shocking moments because at this point you pretty much assume that like Jesse and Swift are like the two leads and whatnot. So the TC essentially kills the dad, stomping on his father's skull, and the father dies, and the creature takes the father's lifeless body and drags him toward it. And this is my favorite part. The creature plays with the body like dinner the child doesn't want to eat, then lays the father face up, slips off his tattered pants, and sits on the father's groin and begins to feverishly grind on it. So this creature is also clearly trying to get pregos. Spencer's laughing. So gets a little weird. So eventually the creature realizes the father's dead and cannot produce semen, which that's what happens when you die. Don't know why. I feel like you should. I'll try to ping you for that one. Well, actually, oh shit. Well, actually, what a time to well actually. I guess had she tried harder, she might have gotten something out of him. Dio has science. We have science corner with Dio. Fire. There's people who have gotten preggers from corpses. Really? I did not know this. Oh God, I wish I had you when I was writing this because I would have made a whole CV around that. You got arrested for it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We might have a new RP coming up soon. No. So eventually the creature realizes that it was these humans, these awful humans, surely because the CVs are totally science based. There's SCs and given courses too. Ooh, fun. That's what you can get from fucking my body, living or dead, hunty. So eventually realizes that the humans are to blame for this this man that she wanted to be pregnant by dying, and Javi and JC both decide they're going to take on the creature while the rest of the family runs. And what this is also amazing because the creature can roll a 2d12 because essentially it's a Wendigo. They're powerful. So the first to go, I believe, is TC. The monster just straight up kills Javi and TC. And yeah, and it's not good because we thought that those were going to be the two leads because Swift and Jesse they take over, they do it, but they immediately died and I was like, oh, that was unexpected. Oh, I thought they would run. First of all, I thought they would run, but they just didn't. So are the two leads of this story immediately die. So they get eaten. So now we have, let's see, we have Maya, Maria, William, Thomas, who are twins, and Farron left, I believe, is everybody left. So it's funny because I was talking to Swift and Jesse about them sort of ushering the new folks into the CVs and like helping them out, and then they just immediately died. And I'm like, oh no. Who else? Yeah. Well, we had Maddie, who's a CV vet at this point. So I was like, okay, so we have some people, and Leah as well, who's survived a couple CVs at this point. So then we have a very long sequence of trying to get back across this bridge quickly before the creature attacks them, and some people falling off this ledge and falling into a pool, which happens to Maria. Maria, played by Felix, is the first one to fall into a giant pool of blood. Which, if you have seen the movie The Descent, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you've seen, if you've played, what is it, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's a scene where Lara's wading through a pool of dead bodies and blood. That's where I got that from. And so Maria, everyone's pretty much, oh, Maria's gonna die. It's like immediately, like Maria's definitely dead. So Maria like falls down. The rest of the party carries on, and Maria like has like her backpack, all her stuff is all over this fucking pool of blood. And eventually, Maria does a little bit of exploring down in this area and finds a piece of paper that tells her that sunlight hurts these creatures. And so eventually, I think Thomas starts. Thomas tries to help out, I believe. And oh yeah, he has a detonating device, so he tries to work the detonating device, but I believe he drops it or something. He like drops it in the pool or something, so it doesn't. Yeah, he drops the remote in the pool. And she has to like go down into the disgusting pool of guts and get it. And there's a creature that's now in there. There's a second creature, and it's just so bad. It's such a shit show, quite literally. So all the other siblings are on the bridge and trying to get across, and everyone's kind of deciding whether or not they're going to like help Maria or not. And it seems like no one is going to, which is like, I stand Maria. She just like, she did what she had to do. So everyone makes it to the next platform, I believe. I don't know if there are any other deaths in this one. I believe there's three creatures now. Because there's one that's now crawling on the wall. There's Mom, and then there's a third one, I think, that was in the water. So it becomes clear. So at one point, one of the creatures like looks for Farron. It's closest to Farron, who trips and slides off the edge of the bridge. Is now hanging on like Maya. So Maya and Farron are hanging off the bridge in a very video gamey way, and it turns out that the creatures are blind, so they can't actually see because there's one standing over Farron sniffing around. And so let's see, eventually, what is next? Mama's sniffing around for everyone. Maria hears Thomas call from above. Oh yeah, so Maria has the options down below to find Thomas's explosive device in the water, which I was like, please don't look for that thing. It's so, I mean, it would have been helpful. Like there's a scenario in which Thomas didn't drop it and he could have made an explosion and burst light through, but that's kind of not what happened. Oh no, that is what happened later. Anyway, but anyway, so everyone starts realizing that the creature is blind. They try to, and I think, no, not deaf, but blind, just blind. Going down slowly, slowly, slowly. I'm trying to see what else happens. Yeah, Mama makes a mad dash through the bridges. Oh yeah, Thomas throws his lantern in the pit as a distraction, which is like, fuck Maria, I guess. And eventually, oh yeah, so this is also the other thing that happened. So so Thomas decides he's going to go down into the pit and get the explosive device and maybe help out Maria. So he starts to climb into the pit once everyone gets to the other side of the bridge, and so Maya watches Thomas stepping forward before stepping back once more. She's afraid to descend with him, but uh, is it worth being the only one alive after this? And so Maya has a nice little flashback about being the youngest, and they're doing like a trust fall thing. They're doing free climbing. Oh yeah, no, that's it. They're doing free climbing or something, and she's supposed to be jumping or something at some point, and jumping somewhere or climbing up somewhere. Anyway, the whole family's sort of encouraging her, and she's having like a moment of fear. And it was funny actually. Annie did a really good job with that flashback to sort of illustrate that Maya has always been the baby and the one to have to, be coerced into, or coaxed rather, not coerced, coaxed into making strong decisions like she has to right now. So Maya ends up coming with, and they go down together, and they finally get to the bottom. And let's see, we have William still trying to cross. Farron is also trying to cross. William pulls Farron up. Oh yeah, Farron was hanging there for a long time, I guess, and William pulls him up, and they keep trying to cross the bridge. And what is the next big event that happens? So there are now two creatures in the pool. Maya and Thomas get down there together, while William and Farron are still making their way across the bridge. Oh god, this is so nerve-wracking. I couldn't believe it. Oh, that's what it is. William ends up trying to help out. He's eyeing the pit. He's spoken to whisper to Farron, "Do you have any extra rope on you?" And then Leah ended up rolling a 1. So the creature and the mama creature begin to loudly climb the rock structure after William, because I guess he wasn't quiet enough. The first creature gets up to the ground level and roars at William. William holds his gun because, gets his gun. Mom has a hard time getting up the rock. And William confidently points the gun at the creature. Click, click, click. Oh no. He has no bullets left. The creature gets whacked with the gun and doesn't move. It moves swiftly to William, grabs his legs. William is hanging upside down looking at the creature. The creature pulls, and the creature shakes William hard enough to throw off his aim. William will fucking try again. So I guess the wait, is there another gun? Is that what he had? Oh, he's a pocket knife. William gets a pocket knife and tries to stab the creature. So he's hanging. He's holding William upside down, and William has a knife and he's trying to swipe at him. And I gave Leah many, many chances to survive this, but eventually the creature takes both of William's sides and pulls him apart. And I said begins to feel his body split at the crotch. So he literally took his legs and split them in two, which is also, it's sort of drawn and quartering, kind of. God. So William dies. William's body is slow and painfully pulled in two. The creature holds up William's left half and eats his insides like a bundle of grapes. Mama, smelling this, climbs in to join the feast. Maya, Thomas, and Maria are now alone in the pit, and they can freely move around without alerting the known creatures. Farron is watching all of this while standing completely still up top. So actually, William's death kind of saved them. So shout out. And also, I don't feel bad because Leah has literally survived 2 other CVs, so they'll be okay. So Farron is standing there completely still, trying to figure out what to do. In the pit, I believe, Thomas is looking for the remote for the explosive device, and Maya's still trying to climb down, I believe. Thomas sees a pickaxe there, which I had to explain to people what a pickaxe was. But if you don't know what it is, look it up. They're very cool, and Lara Croft uses them to kill people. Let me see what the next big thing is. Oh yeah, that was the other thing, is that Maya kneels down, keeping one eye on the battling creatures as she examines the ring, what is it? Should she touch it? Oh yeah. So the creature was being. Minecraft taught me all about pickaxes. That's right. You know all about them. Fucking Minecraft. I hate that goddamn game. So one of the creatures was thrashing around, eating William, and a ring comes off. That's what it is. A ring comes off, and Maya finds the ring, and it says Major, as in Krista Major. And Maya, and of course, Annie has no idea what this is because this is a callback to CV1. So Maya looks back, and there's a young girl, and it's Krista Major, and it becomes clear that these creatures are the Wendigo bodies of from CV1. So it's all of these vine creatures, these vines, because the vines are connected to the zombies, if you know, based on CV8. Let me hashtag CV8. That's right, I love in roleplay. The vines and the undead are connected. So the vines, they kind of work together to make these undead things. So the vines clearly brought these the youngsters back to this cave to turn them into these things, these Wendigo things. So anyway, Maya seemingly has this flashback ability. I don't know how. So Krista essentially talked to her in sort of this dream state, and says somebody should save him. She said, "There's somebody you should save that's in the pit," and asks if she can find him. And Maya's like, "Who are you?" And she says, "Your sister." Which Maya steps back, her eyes widen as she whimpers, "What?" Maya would go look into the pit that she came from, torn between finding this man that Krista had told her to find and going home. How is that girl her sister? Who is in the pit? The creatures continue to munch on William's body to the left of the tunnel. So there's their exit tunnel basically is there, and William is being eaten to the left of said tunnel. So if they want to escape, they'll have to climb out of the pit and sneak by that little area to get there. And let's see. Maya hears a scream coming from the dark path next to the pool. It sounds human. So there's a pool, there's the pool, and then once you get out of the pool, there's like a path, a dark path that goes around. And there's an old man in there as they try to go through there. And once they go around, they realize it's their father, which is weird because they just saw their father get eaten. Maria realizes that was her father that just screamed. She didn't know what to feel. On one hand, he was the bastard. She his mom. On the other hand, Mama turned to a monster. Literally, also, which I think Felix probably forgot, is that they already killed their father, which is very strange. Let me see where it is. So yeah, so the father actually recognizes this is Maria. I'm trying to see where he explains it. Well, I guess I'll just explain. So basically, what happened was that there was another man in there who is so eventually essentially all of the CVs, the cryptid powers are morphing into each other, and he is also using the copy power, the U power, to create a host body to create another father version. It's all very complicated. It's fine. So the person that they killed was not their father; it was someone else, and this is their actual father. So they take their real father out of said cave, or out of that part of the cave, and they try to get him out. And so everyone's decided they're going to get out of the pit and get out of this fucking hellhole. So they find that the creature's munching on William, which is kind of scary. And I think the father's holding onto someone's back. And as they get out, the old man climbs to the top of the pit wall. Everyone gets out except for the old man. He gets to the top as he sees the creature sniffing around. He gets to the top and struggles to get up. Before he can, he slips his shoe and makes a loud sound on the rock. The creature's instantly dark for him. The old man falls back as the two creatures jump into the air over the blood pit and snatch him up. "Run," are his last words. The creatures do a cannonball into the pit and begin to tear into their real father underwater. Maria and Maya are now up top with nothing in their way. Farron and Thomas are in the pit with the creatures in the water. So I guess Farron got down there at some point. And Thomas starts to head back but falls into the water. It gets very, very messy. Everyone's trying to run and get the fuck up out of there. I'm trying to make sure there are no ones. I don't think anyone else. Yeah, at one point, Farron gets to. I don't remember this, Maddie. Farron gets face to face with one of the creatures who's clearly not noticed him yet. Farron was very close to dying, unless he did die, and I just don't remember. So eventually, Farron and Thomas find the remote, and let me see. Is that what happens? Oh yeah, unable to comprehend. Farron looks at the detonating device, unsure of where his sisters or that man went. It's not that. It's not out of the question to assume they're probably, hopefully, safe. Don't know why Thomas would give you this. Does he think I know anything about explosives? Deciding to risk it, Farron presses the detonate button. So Farron, I guess, gets the detonating device because that's up. I think that's up top, and then maybe Farron got there. And they detonate the device, and I had everyone roll, I believe, a D2, which is literally just like, did you die or did you survive? I think everyone rolled a 2. Everyone, I think, rolled a 2. So the sunlight gets into into this area, and all of the creatures disintegrate because they can't deal with sunlight. They can only be in the dark. And finally, the news comes through, and we find out that everyone else has survived. So Maya, Farron, Maria, and Thomas all survive, which is amazing. I love that Canna survived his first time in the CVs. And let me see what else. Yeah, so eventually the EMTs come and make sure they're all okay. And the last thing that Maya sees, she visits with the ring. So she has the ring, the major ring, because somehow she's connected to the Major family. Which, if you know about the Majors, they're like the royal family of the CVs. They go all the way back to the beginning times of CV10. So as she finishes with the ring, she looks up. A blonde man, well dressed, is staring at her. He smiles, winks, and disappears, which we can assume is Gabriel. It was a real shit. Real shit. So we're back to Alex. Alex opens her eyes, and she can hear some carnival music. And the clown, who is the clown, comes in, and Alex realizes that she is tied to a gurney, and the clown gets to have his let his knife have his way with her. Let's put it that way. And so Alex sees that all of the audience members are masked, and they're all sort of clapping. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this GIF that illustrated what they looked like. So basically, it's like one of those medical, one of those, like, how they like show medical students how to do things. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations. But I don't know how it happened. She took my arm. And so I had, this is sort of what the audience looks like when Alex is being dismembered by this clown, which turns out to be Lee. Lee from CV7. Need, probably one of the greatest CV villains of all time. And from the darkness, what appears is Miss Manchu, which is also from CV7, which I will link. CV7, which is that's a fun one too. Miss Manchu, who instructs him to push it deeper, stab her, and so he keeps sort of cutting into Alex while the audience is excited to watch Alex get dismembered, and takes off the arm. Yeah, it gets nasty, and eventually Lee lowers the blade and quote unquote kills Alex. Doesn't really, but sends her into the next CV, or the next file, which is file 9, which is called Glow. Now Glow got real crazy. So with Glow, we are entered into a board meeting once again, where these two guys are trying to pitch a brand new type of freak show, but they want to take away the stigma of freak. So they want it to be more of an inclusive, educational freak show, but for this generation. So it's a little more sensitive to different bodies, shapes, abilities, and all that. And he's like, we're going to call them performers, not freaks, you know. But essentially, I mean, what it essentially is it's still a quote unquote freak show, but they're just trying to repackage it. It's still offensive and gross. So we meet each of the people that are involved. We do quick little backstories. We have the ringleader, of course. Swift plays the ringleader, who her backstory is she was once a circus performer, and her grandfather actually was really hard on her. We watch her doing a balance beam act, and he starts a fight with one of the audience members who calls his granddaughter fucking hot, and so eventually she falls off the balance beam or the tightrope, excuse me, and plummets down, and he gets very upset with her because he's mad that, you know, she's not good enough, and also that she's not safe, and he wants her to be safe. He doesn't think she can do this, and it it makes her very angry, and eventually she finds a flyer for this new circus that's happening, and she decides to join. And then we have the contortionist, which is played by Noah's first time in the CVs, and we find that the contortionist, who is in a dilapidated house, and her name is Millie, and she lives in a very gross house, and she's serving beer and food to, I guess, her father, who is clearly abusive towards her. And when she doesn't do things well, he's a very large man. When she doesn't do things well, he stuffs her into the crawl space of the walls, sort of as punishment. But the first thing he does is he puts her in he puts her in the washing machine. This is very horrible. He stuffs his daughter in the washing machine. He turns on the washing machine. But Millie's able to like contort her body to find a more comfortable spot so she doesn't, you know, die. And once he finally gets out of the washing machine, she's soaking wet, and he doesn't feel like she learned her lesson. So he takes out a piece of the dying wall of the house and shoves her inside and closes it behind her. So she's in this nasty, 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 you know, probably lots of critters in there, and stuffs her in the tiny space in the wall. And her arms and legs are all bent out of shape, which, my God. So eventually, there's some sort of I think he falls asleep, and the house, like part of the house, burns down, and the EMTs come and get her, and they smash in the house and find her in the wall. She starts crying, "Help me!" So that's the contortionist, and then we have the conjoined twins, which are both played by Shai, really well done. And we have a talent show. These conjoined twins are singing. I forgot what they're singing, what song they're singing. Anyway, there's obviously two twins. There's Bernard, and then there's Arthur. Bernard is the more cautious one, and Arthur's the more like bombastic one. And one of them is a really good singer, and one of them is not so much. And so people start throwing tomatoes at them, and they're not very nice. And eventually, they get off the stage after everyone's being really mean to them, and performance well done. So a student comes backstage, tosses a tomato at the twins. Jesus. The twins follow the MC without a word. Oh yeah, that's what it is. So the principal of the talent show, the school, they go to a school. So the principal basically tells them like, "Hey, there's a place where you guys can go where probably be treated a lot better, because being here is affecting your education, and you're not having a good time here. So why don't you join the circus?" Which is a horrible thing to say to a student. So that is the conjoined twins. Then we have the Human Torch, which is played by NJ Wolf D. I think that's NJ Wolf D, I believe. Who? No, that was Canis. I don't remember. The Human Torch, who, what does he end up doing? This is what I think he gets into a gang war, and that's what it was. Next to the Human Torch, so it's just a show backstage at Fire Hazards. So he's already in a show, and he lets people. He has someone light him on fire. Essentially, I mean, he's already in the entertainment business, and someone yells that he's a fraud, and he walks up there himself and asks him to put out the fire that Yuki is currently on fire. The man takes out a knife and walks over to the pit with this fire in it, and turns sharply to the show. Says, 30's face staring at the light. I know what I'm doing. He barked back down. He took the knife and hovered over the pit of flaming fire and gas. It is mostly blue. His hand pull out. Tough man, are you? He felt his knees and cried in agony. The pain of the heat with a deep cut made his wound a lot bigger. Oh, so he accidentally killed. I believe he accidentally killed a man. That's what it was. So he was doing a fire trick. He accidentally killed somebody, and he leaves to go to the circus. That's him. And then we have the pin cushion, which is played by Canis. And the pin cushion is that he gets into a gang war, and they end up like, shooting him a bunch of times, and he gets out. He escapes. That was pretty simple. Then we have, let me see, the Prophecy Woman, that was played by Weirder, also known as Sage, who essentially doing tattoos. Like, that's the way that she, the way that she does her prophecies is she tattoos them on people. And this drunk guy comes in and wants a tattoo, and he asks for a certain tattoo, and he gets something else, right? I believe he wants a dragon tattoo, and she pushes the chair, she drops the tattoo needle on her foot that went slightly through her gut stuck. Motherfucker. What the fuck, girl? Oh, yeah. So she spaces out and her hand starts moving on its own, and it makes its own prophecy on his back. So it draws an eyeball on his back, and she gets really spooked and she leaves. And eventually she joins the circus as well, and she finds a flyer. Then we have the Translucent Woman, which is played by Kermit, also known as Annie Carrot. The Translucent Woman, what is her thing? Forgot what her big thing is. Well, she can disappear. she's translucent. Yeah, because her mother keeps leaving her places because she doesn't see her or something like that. Anyway, so Hazel gets, also known as a Translucent Woman, gets put into a taxi and goes to the freak show. And finally, Glowboy, which is played by Leah, who is the star of this CV, Enemy of the State, who survives. He's actually put into the scene from the previous file, so he's going into that cave where the Reveres were to see if there's anything to discover while he was there, because it's connected to the last one. And so eventually, what does he end up finding? He ends up finding something interesting, doesn't he? What does the glow boy find in there? Yeah, he just finds some. Oh, that's right. He just finds some bodies. of TC. He finds TC and Javi's bodies. So they basically tell Glowboy that he's no longer needed. He's been used by the FBI essentially, and the government to take care of these some more strange occurrences. And so eventually he gets shipped off to the circus. So the two investors who create the circus, one of the leaders is Esteban, played by Shadow, and they get an okay for their show. So everyone introduces themselves. All the performers come through and meet each other, and they hold a talent show to show off what's good and what's not. And we have a very rich investor coming in, Senor Guevara, played by Jesse. Senor Guevara, played by Jesse, and she comes in and she's looking to see if she can invest in this place. So the talent show goes kind of awry. Some people do very well, and some folks do not. And it gets kind of bad because so excuse me. So Shadow played Esteban, and I played Esteban's assistant, I believe. Who let me see. While I'm setting up the stage, yeah. So the business manager stands in front. All right, guys, test audience here to look sharp. Yeah. So Esteban and him greets the Senora, and they sort of do a mock version of the circus, and eventually, so the talent show, as it were, starts off with Swift's character G, like introducing all of the talent, and let me see. I believe who is the first one? Sonora Rivera. This major heads back on stage. Okay, musicians. And let me see. Yes, I think it's the tattoo woman that goes out first. Yeah, she walked out. Her bloodshot eyes were stared at Hazel. She went to the small table to get her supplies, got her ink pen, and it was clear that she was going to. Oh, she's using like a pin doll or something. So she makes a prediction, and and it doesn't go very well. Senora Guevara is not impressed. She says, "Good act, but not my cup of tea." People are scared and call it witchcraft. So already the tattoo woman is not happy about this. And they keep going, and I don't remember any of the talent shows. Like, I think a couple of them, Senor Guevara was like not into, and I think there's so much like espionage happening in this one. So the next act is starting because I remember my character was like trying to hype them up, but he was also, oh yeah, that's the other thing, is that Senora Guevara was trying to see. She didn't know if she wanted to take Esteban along with her for this investment, so she thought like maybe we should get rid of Esteban, and he's thinking, okay, my character, who's this assistant to Esteban, is like, okay, it sounds good. I'm happy to do that. I want money. Yeah, there's a woman and Human Torch go up. They do their thing, and eventually, oh yeah, Esteban grabs Sage's arm. Oh yeah, so that's what it is. So eventually, yes. So Sage, who is the prophet, the tattoo prophet, gets into a fight with Esteban, who because the tattoo woman is very upset with the fact that I guess Esteban didn't sell her very well to the Senora Guevara, and they get into a very big scuffle. And very much like CVU7, it gets very violent very quickly, and they start to have a fight outside of like during the, I don't even know if the talent show even like finished. So essentially everyone started fighting in front of the Senora, and oh, Bryce was my character's name. That's right, Bryce. So Bryce was like thinking about betraying Esteban. It was like so many people were like not. It was not going well for them, and I want to get to the fight part. Yeah. So, oh no, Arthur did really well. The twins did okay. Yeah. Yeah. So eventually, the tattoo woman starts fighting with, I believe it is Esteban, and oh, there it is. There it is. Tries to swat, pass it on the ground. Oh yeah. So eventually, oh, that's what it is. He tries to swat Yuki. Been together for a long time now, so wants to Bryce to no 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 no. Yeah, so Bryce tried to like fight Yuki. Why was Bryce trying to fight Yuki? And then like basically like made him pass out, like killed him with a pressure point, which was really weird. And then yeah, it got really crazy because I remember someone pulled out a knife, and it was like yeah, Bryce ended up dying. It just like escalated so quickly, which I'm so confused. So the tattoo woman Sage walks up to Esteban's phone and grabbing his phone and throwing it. I have his score to settle. So yeah, the tattoo woman is unhinged clearly, and they all start fighting, and they start trying to stab each other, I believe, with the knife. No, no, Millie, Sage, why would Esteban do this? That's right. Yo, with the beep. That's right. I forgot about that. Sage killed Millie. I forgot about that. Oh my god. Yes, Sage did kill Millie. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So oh my gosh. So I believe it was that. I don't remember how it happened, but I remember Sage like accidentally killed Millie and then blamed Esteban because everyone's like Esteban's the bad guy. Esteban's the bad guy. And it was like Millie tripped or something and accidentally ran into his knife or something. So like they accidentally killed Millie, who's like that's a very sad death because Millie did nothing to nobody. Like she was just a sweet little kid. But yeah, as Sage leaves with the knife, Esteban moves out of the way. They trip over each other. Sage loses control of her arm. The knife goes directly into her own head, which is like, can you imagine that? Just like grabbing the knife, putting it in the head. Very sad. Sage dies instantly. But Millie dying was. Oh yeah, let me see. Let me see Millie's death. This is sad too. Yeah, Millie tries to stop them. Yuki approaches Esteban, putting his hand in his chest. Oh, Millie jumps in the way of Sage's pen. That's right. So Sage like pulled out a pen and tried to stab Esteban and sliced Millie's throat open. And Millie holds her throat. Ow! It's her last words. She says thank you, and then she dies. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah, Millie died. That's right. And that was it for that part. So Senora Guevara gets her security detail to get everyone, and get out. And then Esteban and I believe it is Yuki. Who are the Human Torches? I believe it's the Human Torch. They leave because obviously Senora Guevara isn't going to take them. So Bryce is dead, Millie's dead, Sage is dead at this point. So Senora Guevara now takes over the whole operation, makes her own thing. She takes all of the performers, well, except for a couple. It's called Guevara's Unnaturals, which I love. I think Jesse came up with that, but Guevara's Unnaturals was my favorite. Her Unnaturals, because it's like her tits. Naturals, her naturals, unnatural. Anyway. So the people lined up. They're all excited. Alex realizes that she is now in line, as she keeps getting kind of thrown from reality to reality. So she's standing in line for this weird show. Sarah's like, "Oh no, oh no!" So she's in line for this very strange show, and the Glow Boy has been here the whole time as well. Here for this show, and G is still the ringleader, and they're each going to do their like now that Senor Guevara's money is behind it, all of their acts are like way bigger, way more high production. And So I believe first up is the twins, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, before we get there, oh yes, so we realize that the attraction becomes Glow Boy. So Senor Guevara's decided that the main attraction will be Glow Boy, and and it's we did take a break. Hi, Ken. We did take a break. And the main attraction is Glow Boy, and that will be their big closer, which will come later. So on the other side of town, meanwhile, on the other side of town, Yuki and Esteban have come up with a big racket. They've had this huge, I guess, I don't know, like this essentially they rob banks because Yuki is the Human Torch. So what he does is he lights banks on fire, and Yuki, because he's flame boy, he can withstand the flames and he can get the money out. So they have this little racket going. And also somehow they see the pincushion there. Candace sort of was in and out of this RP, so he kind of was just like walking by. Hey. So they rob a bank. They're doing very well, but then they realize as they find as they successfully rob this bank that Guevara's Unnaturals is performing in town, and so Esteban, ready to get revenge, thinks, "Hey, we should fuck up their shit." So that's what they intend to do. So meanwhile, back in the circus, I believe I'm trying to think who the first one is. But first I forgot. Alex gets a seat in the circus, and she sees a very familiar face, which is looking back at her. A young boy of vitiligo smiles at her, and as we know, that is what's his name? Believe, who is also known as Amani. So some CV legends are making themselves known to her at this point. So Alex starts to see very familiar faces, very like people from CV3, CV2, CV7. What is that? That's from CV4. I don't remember. Some very familiar faces. So she's seeing a lot of the dead from CV around her. They're starting to make themselves known, which is foreshadowing for later. So the first one is the twins, and the twins come out, and they have this huge, big performance. It's very, it's Beyonce. It's huge. It's amazing. They sing. They're amazing. They're incredible. There's fire spitting. Oh, they figured out that they can do a ton of things while they sing. So like they're spitting fire while Arthur sings because Bernard's not as good of a singer, and the crowd cheers with a standing ovation, and it's amazing and good. But as Alex looks around, she notices there's a man sitting next to her who sort of tells you, he basically is warning Alex, like, don't listen to Amani. She doesn't understand that we need these creatures. These are good creatures. They're always here. And we are very clear that that is Gabriel, who is trying to coerce Alex to the dark side. He gets up and leaves, leaving Alex with that just that idea, that little nugget, you know, be on the right side of history. So eventually, we now find that Esteban and Yuki are making their way to the circus to try to fucking burn that shit down. And the next performer they announce. Let me see what the next performer is. Oh, the translucent woman, Hazel. So there's fire twirlers for Hazel's performance. It is also very spectacular and cool. And I think she does it with. She doesn't do that one solo. Yeah, so she does one solo. She does a wait. She's a translucent woman. What is her thing? Hazel stood in position far enough for the fire twirler so she was visible. She gives a quick wave to the crowd before fixing her foot, preparing for the dance. She practiced hard to perfect. She took a deep breath when the music begins. Oh, so she would appear on a ladder, disappearing and reappearing on the beat as the music crescendos. Hazel would appear on the one rung higher each time, dashing from the left of the ladder to the right. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool, actually. I don't remember that. So she has sort of this like, I'm here. Now you can't see me. You can. And at the end, she blows a torch at it. It's not clear if Rex is finished. The music ends. Yeah. So Hazel is a really cool one. Everyone claps. So after Hazel's performance, though, eventually, I say eventually a lot. Is it Esteban? Esteban and Yuki finally light this fucking place on fire, and everyone starts trying to run out. Well, they haven't realized that it's about to be set ablaze now, but people are sticking around to say, "Glow Boy, they still need Glow Boy." And there's this weird sort of thing that's happening where there's clearly flames around them, but people who are so obsessed with Glow Boy are just like, "Glow Boy, Glow Boy." So you just picture these hands reaching out toward the stage, begging for Glow Boy to come out. And the rest of the crowd is very clear that this is not a part of the show, and they're trying to get out, but I believe Gabriel actually has locked the doors. There's a question about that. Gabriel is actually the one that locked the doors. There's this very sad scene where this woman says, "Wait, please, my daughter's in here. Please let me out," as Gabriel is locking the door right in front of this woman's face, and she and her daughter burn to death. Very horrible. So this is more than like Yuki and Esteban had intended. They weren't intending to kill anyone, but Gabriel just upped the ante. So next part was, I believe that's when Glow Boy comes out. Let me see. Yeah, so Esteban thinks that Yuki locked the exits. Yuki's like, obviously I did not. And so Senor Guevara tells Glowboy to get out there. Everyone's cheering for Glowboy, Glowboy, Glowboy. And so G announces the final act, which is Glowboy, who finally steps on stage, looks at the crowd who is dying in flames. Everyone's chanting Glowboy, 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 and all Glowboy has to do is take off his hazmat suit. So Glowboy is filled with radiation, for those who don't know. He's filled with radiation, so he wears a suit to contain himself, his magical light, because once he's out there, people will start to melt. So all Glowboy had to do was take off his shirt, or his shirt, Jesus, his suit, and he would shine through everybody. So Esteban tries to shoot Glowboy, I believe, at one point, and the bullet goes directly into Glowboy and absorbs into him. Esteban's the first to feel the power of Glowboy. Esteban's skin boils over like water left on the stove too long. His flesh immediately melts off his face. So yeah, Glowboy basically is like killing everyone at this point, which I guess no one anticipated. And one by one, people start dying from Glowboy. Guevara dies. G dies. And it's really nasty. Everyone's fucking melting into the floor. It's disgusting. And eventually, Glowboy's the only one left. Glowboy and Alex. And Glowboy keeps walking towards Alex. He is the only one that can see Alex, and is recognizing that Alex won't melt. And so he keeps walking closer to Alex, being like, "Feel my light, feel my light." And Imani, makes herself known to Alex and says, "You're very close to uncovering this, but I have more to show you." And so we move on to file 10. All the Girls Love Miss Nini, which is one of my favorites. I love this one. I'm going to do this one. And if anyone wants to talk about this, feel free, just at me or whatever. Because I can't see if you raise your hands for some reason. I wish I would say that. Anyway, so the next story. Uh-oh, let me find it. All the Girls Love Miss Nini. Jasmine Vivian besties for life. So we get this commercial, and it's 1960s, very grainy, and it's one of those. I actually got this from, I think it's a McDonald's commercial where it's like they showed an old McDonald's version and like they like fast forward to like the now or whatever. So we see this mother sashaying framed into an apron. She says, "Well, honey, you simply just don't take care of them now, do you?" She's asking for a dolly. Her dolly broke. And the child goes, "I do too. They just keep breaking." Mom says, "That's because you don't treat them like you would say your father or I." And the child says, "Well, golly, Molly. Golly, mother, why would I treat my dollies like I treat you?" And Molly says, "My fucking Molly." Mom says, "Because your dolly is just like me." And then she says, "Oh, child darling of mine, I have one more dolly to introduce to you." And then she produces the Miss Nini doll. Miss Nini doll, what a strange name. That's right, she's a Miss Nini doll. She comes all the way from China. China? Yes, China. And she's flown all the way to see you. Me? Yes, you. And then the besties terrible adventure says Dio. And then the voiceover says, "I think Miss Nini is ready to join the new millennium." So we and then it does a nice little retrospective of because Miss Nini can talk, of course. So it says, "All the girls, all 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 the girls love Miss Nini." Wink. So that's the opening commercial to a very, very innocent doll that's definitely not going to kill anybody. And we get a nice little intro into Dio plays a Twitch, like I guess it's like a live streamer, Twitch streamer. It's so cute. I don't know, but I love it. Who is named Jasmine. I love this one so much. First got it right. Jasmine, who is doing a live stream with her bestie Vivian, played by Swift, super cute. And oh wait, Dio's typing. Jasmine, the toy review. That's right. That's right. She reviews toys. Thank you. She reviews toys. And I just, oh my god, I fucking love this one so much. So so Vivian and Jasmine are doing a live stream, and I had it so that anyone could chat, be in the chat, and like type stuff, which was so cute. And then I think this is when they're going to go to the mall to review the Miss Nini doll, the new Miss Nini doll. And so once they get there, they realize that the mall is about to close, which is important. And so they go to the store, they buy the Miss Nini doll, and they open it. They do a little unboxing. Very cute. Oh my god, she's so precious. And eventually, there's this one user that's in chat that's a little bit strange, and kind of fucking up the chat. Like the chat keeps glitching, and one of the other like very loyal fans keeps, and also the moderator for Jazz's chat, I should say, keeps trying to make sure that this one chatter like keeps being weird, who is named Miss Nini, right? I think the weird chatter's named Miss Nini. And yeah, that's right, Miss Nini 10. That's right, that's what it is, Miss Nini 10. And Jazz Stan, that's what it was, Jazz Stan, which I sometimes accidentally wrote Jan Stan. I don't know why I did that. So Jazz Stan keeps trying to like be like, "Can we get some mods to get Miss Nini 10 out? Like she's weird." And every time they ban Miss Nini 10, Miss Nini 10 comes back and keeps like repeating things and saying things in Chinese, and it's very scary, and keeps banning, and the chat keeps glitching, and it's very weird. And Jazz and Viv are just trying to have a cool, nice little chat on the live stream. And oh my god, I showed this to Kitten. Kitten found this so funny, but this terrifies the fuck out of me. But I added these into the stream. This fucking scared the shit out of me. I'm gonna play it. You're not gonna be able to hear it in the chat, but I'm gonna see if I can play it. Damn it, it won't play. I wish it would play. Yeah, you'll hear it on the podcast, but it's creepy to me. So the chat keeps going in and out, and and Vivian and Jasmine are trying to keep up their stream, and then Jazz Stan, who is the mod in chat, keeps like seeing things go wrong, seeing things in the background, and then eventually keeps trying to chat, but then the chat like dies essentially. I'm speeding through this part. Yeah, so they try to get to out of the mall, and they realize that the mall is like shutting down. It's like closed. And when they get to the exit of the mall, there's a barrier, so they can't leave, which is scary. So they both try to go up toward the roof. And by the way, if I skip anything important, please write it in the chat. 1, 2, Miss Nini's here for you. I hate it. It's so frightening to me. I hate it so much. So they're trying to update chat. Chat is not updating. They're getting scared, and so they try to go up to the roof. And they go up to upstairs. The door is jammed, it seems. Let me see. I'm trying to think, because I think they go upstairs. They try to go upstairs. And you're welcome. I didn't thank you for that. I didn't thank you for that at all. As they ascend the stairs, they see two sets of that were the only way out the door to the second floor and no way up further. Oh yeah, the PA system. What happens on the PA system? Yeah, so that plays on the PA system, which is terrifying. So they keep hearing like little girl cries and all this stuff, and I also think they realize that the doll is gone. The doll has somehow left their bag or whatever, and has somehow gotten out. And as they go upstairs, they keep running into weird things like mannequins that shouldn't be there. They see one of the mannequins is pushing around a baby that has an actual like bloody thing in it. There's an actual person that's inside one of the that's in one of the mannequins that falls on Vivian. Oh god, I remember that part. That's gross. They keep hearing crying. It gets really weird. They have no idea what to do, and they finally get to the exit. As Jazz moves along, she realizes her hand isn't being held anymore. There's a loud crumbling as Jazz turns around. It's a guy sold the mysterious. There you go. Yes, Dio, you're right. He was the cashier. I'm assuming you always knew that and you weren't just coming to that realization. It just hit me. Jazz moves along, realizes that her hand isn't being held anymore. There's a loud crumbling, and they're on the upstairs floor right now. As Jazz turns around, the ground behind her has collapsed. The second floor of the mall is now fractured. And that needed to be mentioned. Oh, fair enough. The second floor is now fractured. Viv rolls onto a piece of floor that crashes to the first floor and then down into the basement, which is like, oh god. And this is when I was certain Vivian was going to die. Vivian groans. She realizes she's okay, quite hurt, bleeding but still alive. The 2 floors down from her best friend. So Jazz is on the top floor. Viv is on the bottom floor. Not good. So Vivian is in complete darkness, trying to figure out where to go. I was certain it was curtains for Viv. Curtains. Jazz doesn't want to go down to help her friend. Interesting. I thought they were besties. Little Jazz shade there. And Vivian says she's going to figure it out. She's going to get out of there. Viv is in total darkness. Um, and then Vivian feels a body accept her arms and bring her into a hug. What is this part? Oh yeah, so she feels someone hugging her, and it oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about this part. So she feels a hug, and she thinks it's her dad, which feels not correct, but she's going with it. And she realizes the man who's calling her daughter is some stranger, some strange, weird man, and she can't figure out what is going on. And he holds her hand and like intends to, trying to grab it and take her away from this dark area. And he says, "Oh God, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning." And he says, "You haven't come to my bed in so long, daughter." And he smiles very largely at her. And Vivian says, "In your bed? What are you even talking about?" She had her own bedroom. Thank you very much. I know that's right, Vivian. Independent teenager. And then the old man calls her Jew and says, "Come to me now." Not J-W, J-U. The girl's name is Jew. And she says, "What are you doing? Stay away from me." And then he says, "I see the way you look at me and you and your sister. You don't think I know what kind of girl you are." Meanwhile, Jazz is fighting many dolls. And says, "Oh yeah, I forgot. That's also gonna. We'll get to that part. We'll do half and half." So Vivian, what sneaky-eyed, sneaky listeners know from the CVs is that this is actually the father of Jew, which is the spirit of Miss Nini, who very much was sexually assaulting his daughter. Meanwhile, upstairs, Jazz is contending with the actual Miss Nini, which is the doll, has now revealed herself and is now trying to fuck shit up, and was just kind of doing well, actually. I think rolling pretty well. I'm seeing a lot of 12s here. Jasmine got doors open. Oh yeah, I believe at one point, she was like taking over mannequins. Like I feel like the spirit of Miss Nini was like inhabiting mannequins that were also trying to attack Jazz. Almost got her. And I would have got away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. Fucking meddling Twitch streamers. Yeah, Dio, call me out if there's any like specific wild stuff. Nah, roll. And I would have got away with it too if it was for roll. That is true. There were specific things before they meet back up. So I'm trying to think of any like wild things that happened. I know at one point Jazz bites her or something to throw off her. Yeah, Jazz had a mannequin try to strangle her right now while Viv was fighting Juice Dad. That's right. That is right. Yeah, the mannequin. Oh my gosh. I thought that what I thought was going to happen in this moment was that like Jazz was going to get out and Viv was just going to bite it. That is not what happened though. So yeah, Jazz bites this and realizes clearly in this moment that this girl is not made of flesh. It hurts. It is hard. It hurts her teeth. She puts Nini. Oh, Miss Nini threw a spike. That's right. She like throws her. I think I'm at that point. So yeah, so Vivian realizes downstairs that she's got to get the fuck away from this guy, and she's just, clawing around in the darkness, trying to find the way up. And meanwhile, Jazz is struggling to free herself, and she tries to get the thing and the girl away from Nick. That's right. So I think it's at Kitten. Remind me. I think this is when is a necklace being put on at this point. Was Miss Nini trying to put the necklace onto Jazz? I think, and then Jazz was like, "I'm getting all this shit off of me." I think that's what happened. They're gonna tell me in chat right now. Jazz has this necklace on right now. Oh, that's right. Ugh, I love this recap. Okay. Yes, so Jazz has a necklace on, and at some point she's trying to kind of keep Jazz pinned. Standing on the other side, little Miss Nini is hole right through her chest. Her head quickly tilts left to the snap, but obscuring her face. Let's be friends. Oh God, Friendo. Shout out to Friendo. She says before lunging at Vivian and attempting to knock her. Oh, so I guess so that's what happened. So she's gonna try to keep Jazz pinned. The thing gets around Jazz's neck. That's right. So that goes around Jazz's neck, and she musters up enough strength to flip the life-size mannequin backwards. The velocity throws the mannequin in a half running it incapacitated. Jazz has won this fight. As Vivian gets upstairs, she sees the man holding someone down. The man is on top of a small girl. The girl's head turns towards Viv, a single tear running down her face. Oh yeah. She sees a flashback of Ju and her dad and doing not bad things that he should get arrested for. Okay, one of my favorite lines in Miss Nini's story was something among the lines, sorry, I already have a friend. A best friend needs my help. I know that's right. So at this, because at this point, Miss Nini goes after Viv, right? Jazz gets the necklace off before anything can happen. Sigh. Yeah, I know you wanted that to happen. Yeah, so Jazz gets the necklace off. She throws Miss Nini, who like gets impaled by one of the structural beams, like the little long screws that are on the floors or whatever. So Miss Nini works herself off that weird beam and goes after Viv. So Viv has to sort of I love making characters like walk across like precarious planks or like small ledges or something. I just found it. Let's be friends. And then is this where Viv says, "I already have a friend." So Vivian finally gets all the way back up to Jazz's level, but she's on the other side of the level where the floor is essentially destroyed. So she has to like figure out a way to like walk across a beam, essentially a balance beam, which is funny because we just got through where Swift technically played someone walking across a tightrope. Interesting. She would have been okay. Why wasn't Viv? So Jazz looks for a ladder or something to get Viv across. There are any fucking ladders in sight. What is this place? And Viv was fine. Viv went through it, honey. So I believe. I'm trying to think what ended up happening. I guess she just got across, didn't she, or did she? The necklace heart shatters. No, okay. Kitten knows. See, I don't remember this part. I remember once I get to the roof, but she slipped. Oh, that's right. Jazz snatches the necklace off Viv and tosses it. Oh, that's later. Thank you. Slip in. Let me get to the part. Honey. Let me get to the part. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I forgot about this. So, that's right. So Vivian fell. This is what happened. I remember that. So Vivian slips off the foundation beam because she's trying to go across to get to her friend. She slips from foundation beam, and she tells Jasmine to run, and Jasmine does just that, and Miss Nini jumps after her, rushing after Vivian. So R.I.P. to Vivian for now. And so Jazz makes it to the rooftop. She's trying to figure out how to get around. She can't find a ladder. She's trying to find a rope. And eventually, very quickly, she hears Vivian's voice, and Vivian's back. Vivian's okay, it seems. And she says, "Yeah, it's me. It's fine. It's totally fine. What are you talking about? Why are you being nervous? It's all good." And it becomes clear that Vivian is not exactly Vivian. And Jazz starts to back up. She's a little uncomfy. And it seems very clear that Miss Nini totally saved Viv, just saying she's kind of dead. That Viv is now possessed with the spirit of Miss Nini and is trying to bring Jazz along with her. However, Jazz ain't having that shit. So Jazz grabs the necklace and tosses it on the ground. So she realizes the necklace is hidden in Viv's shirt. Jazz is like, no. Grabs necklace, destroys it. And Vivian is saved again. Vivian's okay. Jazz catches Vivian almost feeling bad. If there's one way to free the spirit attached to Sneedy other than death, she didn't deserve that at all, but neither did they. I think help is here. I told you I'd get help. Jazz tries to carry Viv close to the edge of the building. As people start to show up, as help starts to show up, Jazz is waving them over. As Jazz looks toward the sirens, Viv looks toward the edge where the doll fell, face up for Flash. She's the dead body of the young girl she saw before. So at the bottom of the building, Miss Nini is laying there. It's very sad. And we all feel sad for Jude because she had a really, really hard life where her dad was not doing inappropriate things to her. And as they finally get let down, Jazz's phone lights up as her Twitch stream is saved. Thank goodness. Honestly, that's the only thing I wanted to save, is that the Twitch stream. I wanted the Twitch stream to stay okay, or the live stream. Because Jazz needs that. I wonder what happened to them. What do you think happened to them after that? What do you think they're doing now, Jazz and Viv? Right now, what do you think Jazz and Viv are doing? The girls are literally mourning this poor girl they didn't know. I know, poor thing. Poor thing. I hope they're okay, wherever they are. Jasmine Bean. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna wait for chat. That's her full name, Jasmine Bean. That's what she's doing. Oh my god, who the fuck is that? I'm gonna at Maddie as we're at 11. That's Jasmine Bean. Oh shit, that's a real person. Oh, work Queen Bean. Jasmine stopped reviewing dolls and becomes a paranormal investigator. I stand. I love that one. I love it. Let me see. So we find Alex back in the changing room, and where she begins to hear voices. They sound genderless, but they're coming closer. She hides before these voices come in, and we find, oh my god, Jasmine Bean is a little frightening. Then Vivian runs a casino because the original can I have her she loves to bet on chance. But well, she certainly did. So for the 11th file, this is right in where Alex was, where we left her at the very beginning of the CV. And 4 folks enter. Oh, wait, 5 folks? 5 folks. So we have Mike, a bodybuilder with a tough guy personality, like a general sergeant. We have Sarah, who is played by Swift, who is the picture of femininity. Nate, played by Kermit, aka Annie, who is a passionate, studious, motivational man. We have Lucy, who I play, who's head in the clouds daydreamer, who's all left brain, creative. And finally, Gabe, played by Shadow. And no one knows why Gabe is here, but Alex recognizes him because he's a mean man. So all these 5 individuals are in this changing room. They don't know why they're here. And they essentially are just talking, chit-chatting, trying to figure out they all got a letter that they needed to be here for some reason. And eventually a being comes in at this moment, all dressed up, white, faceless. He says, "Thank you all for responding to our letter. Apologies for our clandestine nature, but you'll soon understand there's an important reason why you all are gathered here. I will not delay any further. We are in a crisis. We have seen something coming in our future which troubles our existence, and we can tell from the prophecy that it comes from land, possibly from humans. Each of you possesses something human about you. I myself don't know what that thing is. However, we'll take the time to together to understand it. We can decipher what it means to be human, then we can perhaps fight whatever is coming. We will keep you confined here and monitor you from afar. We think advance your service as holy warriors of blank." Short blank with 3 letters. What could it be? And we hope you will discover what it takes to save heaven. Not to worry about your coworkers. We simply told them that you've joined the accounting department, which is the title of the final file before we get into the big old grand finale. Depart. So there's that. So we have these 5 individuals who have to figure out why they are human or how they are human. And so everyone kind of is confused why they're here, what they are, and the reader is also very confused about what these beings are. And it's what keeps coming up is that it's very clear why everyone is here. Like, Sarah is beautiful, Michael is strong, Nate is intelligently gifted, and Lucy's incredibly creative, but it's very clear that no one knows why Gabe is here. Gabe doesn't have any discernible talents. No one knows what Gabe is all about. So emotions begin to run high as they believe they're sort of chosen for something higher than the rest of the group. So it becomes a little frustrating for people, specifically Lucy, why Gabe is among this elite group of Spencer's. Gabe is probably sweet inside. Well, actually, Gabe is. We discovered that Gabe is actually quite sweet inside, for now. And so as I make them roll, their emotions start to waver. So essentially, they are in this kind of pressure cooker, this chamber, that kind of makes them have mood swings, essentially, to see what happens when their moods are sort of like putty, like contracted and expanded in various ways. This one makes me angry. I want to know why, Ken. I have to know why I'm so excited. So various things happen. Like certain people get very angry, certain people get very sad, and let's see. Gabe is a sweetie. Gabe is a very lovable sweetie and it's true. I thought I made it obvious during the end. I mean, say it again. Say it again for the audience. So yeah, Gabe is really innocent, sweet, unfeeling. I mean, I love Shadow's performance as Gabe was so fun. He kept DMing me being like, "Am I supposed to do anything?" I'm like, "No, you're fine. Just keep being aloof. Just do nothing. You're good." And Shadow like kept DMing me being like, "Are you? I'm doing this right? And I'm like, "Yeah, great. It's great. Literally play Smooth Brain. Just complete Smooth Brain. That's it." And Shadow's always a baby or a serial killer. Nothing in between. Shadow, I mean, we'll talk about it in the CV retrospective, but I'll say it here. Shadow is probably one of my favorite CV players. I mean, his characters are like so iconic. They're so good, and he's really, really good. He doesn't know it. He thinks he's terrible at this, but he's really, really good. So the emotions start to run very high, and Lucy's in particular becomes very, very irate with the fact that Gabe should not be here. And Lucy's emotions also start to go, yo-yo a lot. And Lucy goes from, crying a lot and breaking down to getting very, very angry. And each of them can't exactly understand what they are doing or why they're feeling this way. And I also love that because like the players didn't either, which is like, what's happening? I love this one. There's one part where Mike, the sort of big brawly bodybuilder guy, he got one of his emotions was he got very sad, and he wrote this: "A small and quick chortle escaped from Mike's hearing IP," which IP is now, it became a small iconic moment that we now call crying IP. IP. I love it. Anyway, so they continue on like this for a while as there's one point Lucy falls to the ground and starts madly dragging themselves like wall, desperately trying to crawl their way out, saying, "Get away from me." Fear, intense fear. Everyone sort of goes through the gambit of emotions except for Gabe. Gabe is the only one that doesn't go through any emotions. And I'm trying to think what the big thing that happens. Let me see. Because the interesting thing about this file is that it's actually just kind of a talking thing. Like, not a lot happens. It's just a lot of like, it was kind of amazing to watch everyone. Betrayal happens. We'll get to the betrayal. It was kind of amazing to watch everyone do this because I didn't give anyone any prompts. I didn't tell anyone what to do. Everyone just sort of like went, and I made them roll sometimes, and I gave them little prompts about like what their character's like emotional state would be, but everyone just like went into it. It was really incredible. It sort of grew organically, and it became almost this like Twilight Zone episode of just five people not trusting each other and sort of having this weird experience. And for how little information the players got, I think everyone did such a good job. This is one of my like underrated faves. And what ends up, I'm trying to get to the betrayal part. Lucy maybe for everyone else. Oh yeah. So the being, that's right. Poor Lucy. So after a while, the being returns, deciding that they had seen enough of it, and says Blank was watching all of it. Blank has chosen two of you to personally advise and create a task force to communicate with these humans and best create a relationship with them. And everyone's feeling excited, or maybe they're not. I don't know what they're feeling. But Lucy's like, it's got to be me. It's got to be me. So the two that are chosen are Michael and Gabriel, which are the big bodybuilder guy. It's played by Void, by the way. Shout out to Void. Void got his first Halley from this. Ooh. Void and Gabriel, played by Shadow. And the beings leave the five of them, one lying on the ground. The dressing room is nearly trashed. There's a thickness in the air. So we'll leave you to collect your things, and then Gabriel and Michael, we will take you upstairs so that you might get your next instructions. Lucy is beside themselves, and as Lucy leaps and jumps on Gabe, Lucy leaps and jumps on Gabe. That's right, and tries to trip Gabe, and they have a little fight, and like it's funny because Gabe is just like not he's just very confused. He doesn't know what's happening. Kitty would have to have gone back if they had Kitty would have just gone back if they had the choice and given Lucy a big hug. Poor guy, poor thing. So Lucy is like trying to hurt Gabe. They're very, very upset that Gabe was chosen. Doesn't understand it. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't want this to happen. And Lucy says, "It's not fair. I'm never chosen. Why is it not me?" And Lucy feels like Gabe took their spot. It says Gabe is mostly not dying from this or is super affected. Nate says, "Calm down, Lucy, please." I'm just picturing someone having a wild manic episode and everyone else just being like, "Please stop doing that. Don't do that." Gabe looks at Lucy emotionless and says, "What are you doing?" And Lucy says, "I'm trying to kill you, obviously." And then Gabe goes, "What emotion is that?" Which is my favorite. So Lucy releases Gabe and sprawls out, staring, looking up at the ceiling, and says, "I think to understand the folly of humanity is that you can have everything one can truly want and still feel longing. You can have health, friendship, love, eyesight, mobility, and you can still say you are the one not living," which is interesting. And then they say, "I feel all of humanity within me at this moment. I have everything, and yet I want more. The downfall of humanity will be desire." And then Lucy looks up at Gabe and says, "Will you let me go in your place?" And then says, "Please." And then Gabe says, "I have been selected." Lucy says, "But I should go. You know this to be true, don't you?" Like, truly, Lucy did understand the assignment better than everyone else. I mean, Lucy understood the assignment. Lucy felt it. But I should go. You know this to be true. And Gabe keeps saying, I've been selected. I've been selected. Please, I was selected. And eventually Gabe and Mike get brought up to the being who brings them to this room, where Lucy then bursts into the room and says, no, no, I cannot accept this. It's not fair. Michael and Gabriel cannot be angels. They cannot be before me. We are becoming clear that we are in heaven, and Michael and Gabriel are angels. Everyone is an angel, but in our story, Michael and Gabriel are becoming God's angels. And Lucy, is then everyone's so neutral into the assignment. Thank you. So Lucy gets literally dragged out of heaven, and watches as Michael and Gabriel get the spot that Lucy feels that they deserve. And that would be like running the insane asylum. And so Lucy very unceremoniously gets dragged from heaven and kicked out. And at the end of this, we get to Lucy standing up in some grainy substance, sand. And Lucy is in a little bit more of a human feeling form, and is on some sort of island of some kind. Finds their way to a cave. They're on some sort of island. They find their way to a cave, and then they begin to talk to themselves, and it becomes this sort of weird chanting thing, this call and response kind of thing. And what we find out is that, or what we allude to, is that through peak part of CP12 coming, through Lucy's like growing jealousy, growing emotions, almost like a tumor, Lucy has created a cryptid to deal with the pain of being rejected. So I was trying to explain this to someone. Someone was asking about this in the DMs. And I was saying that it's sort of when you go through, I was reading a lot about like when people go through really intense grief, a lot of them disassociate and they create, some of them can create altars and some of them can create, I hate the word, like calling it an imaginary friend sounds like it's cheapening the thing, but can create like another person in front of them. So I really liked the idea of the fact that Lucy, through their intense grief, like the biggest heartbreak of their life, is like created this dark entity within them that like grew out of their body like a tumor, and that's how the cryptids came to be. I was over there read chat real quick. Still wanted to yell at the angel so bad. Y'all are like just like Lucky Wolfie talked Kitty into helping. Lucy's too human to be allowed to be in charge of the human. Too emotional, too jealous, too violent. So you left in charge of those creatures that struggle with being too emotional, too violent. Yes! Oh my, that's a hot take. I love that Dio. I really like that take. He never had anyone to help him. He had to do it all on his own. Which, like, I think this is, I didn't even think about what Dio just said, but this is interesting. This idea of like, the one person who's like too much has to leave, like has to leave society. This idea, I never even considered that, but I really dig that. That's cool. Yeah, so like there's this entity that grows from the too muchness of Lucy, to help them cope with this great heartbreak. So they begin talking to themselves. Please give me whatever it is I need to feel satisfied. Well, what would satiate you? I don't know, but I cannot live like this here in a foreign place. Can't you? Don't you have what you need? I don't know. Yes, you do. Yes, I do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do. We do. We do. Do. Yeah. So it gets creepy. So eventually Lucy climbs out of the tunnel. I I'd assumed this was actually a time jump, like that Lucy had sort of spent time here and like cultivated this creature that was coming out of them, and eventually get out to the sand, tripping into the sand, which is a little bit of a low key callback to CV10 when the mom tripped in the sand, and looks up and sees a child that is touching Lucy's hair, and the child says, "Imani," just Imani, young Imani, poor sweet Imani. And then Lucy looks back at the child, understanding that this is the child's name, and says, "Gabriel," which is how we realize that since Gabriel took the life that he thought he was meant to have, Lucifer was going to take Gabriel's life down here on Earth. Grr. Kitten says, "You can't heal and be a better person. You're filled with a sense of betrayal, and you're the only one there. There's you. The only thing driving you is the anger. That should never be. They should never be left alone. They should never have left him alone." Oh, I know it. Oh, poor Lucy. So we find out that this is the origins of Gabriel, or the Gabriel that we know. Lucifer was Gabriel all along. Ooh. So we get these little moments where I'm going to now call Lucy Gabriel. Gabriel is going to the cave now that he realizes that I'm going to use he pronouns as well. That he realizes that he can create these things. He is talking to this creature, which is the Lucifer monster, essentially, was what he's creating, the 12th cryptid. And he's creating each of the cryptids. And some people, I think you all got all of them, but yes, like I'll give you an example, like the light that shone so brightly. Yes, they were hiding behind that light. They were. They said the light would protect. It did not. It should do what it truly does, hurt. A boy of light. That's Glow Boy. A child like my child. He is your child. She is my child. They are your child. They can be anything. They do not appreciate your craftsmanship. No, they could not. A small child, a child for all, like Imani. That's fucking RTM from the other thing. Oh wait, no, child. Wait, is that from RTM? I don't remember. Oh yeah, that is RTM. That's right. From because they made RTM. Anyway, a whole thing. I never realized it was about the cryptids. Yeah. So he made each interstitial he's making a cryptid. Let me see this next one. Imani made me angry today. Yes, he did. I want to punish him, but should I? Should you? His innocence is all he is. His innocence, not like you. I'm bad. You are filthy. I'm a bad, bad being. You are a person now. I'm bad. I wish I were a child, but you are a child. I'm whatever I want, a child and an adult. That one was RTM. What was the one before that one? I don't remember what that one was. Let me see this one. You've grown. We've grown. Humans have grown. Technology. Do you think it will be the only way they respond? We don't know. We don't think. We know. We must meet them. Only you know how. Do you know how they know how? Of course not. Their problem. Their problem is the humans to meet them, not for them to meet humans. Ego. We meet humans where they are with simulation, with a game. That one's the game. And they're all, of course, out of order. The dead should not remain dead. I do not want to go to that place. Keep them here. The undead. So you can go back and read those. There's all of the he creates each of the cryptids there. I thought it was about Imani. No, well, because he only spent time with Imani at that point. So he made a lot of the cryptids are made in Imani's or inspired by Imani, which was interesting and kind of sad. So eventually we catch all the way up to modern times. Alex is ready to fight the final cryptid. This is a sequence that I had been excited about forever. So I'm going to post it right here. So Alex now has all the information for 2 years, right? Oh my God. It's supposed to happen in 1 year. What an idiot I was. So Alex finally hears the screams. It is time. She has all the information. All she has to do is go forward with it. So I have this really cool. This actually part of the thing that inspired the CVs was this Joe Goddard song called Gabriel, which is really really cool. And I know about the. I heard it in a club one time, and I know about it from the club version. But he has like 8,000 remixes to the song, and is a one of them is a like sort of classical orchestral version, which is so cool. It's so cool if you ever listen to it. And so I had this idea of when Gabriel because Gabriel's going to be back. So when Lucifer finally returns to heaven, it's sort of this grand, like, I mean, think about like, it's like, it's like, it's almost like a communist, like North Korea march mixed with like a modern dance thing. It's so fucking cool. And yes, you have been in them also. You love it. And a black cloak figure slides into the room. Flanking this figure are something of 100 violin players. The violin players are moving in an angular modern dance. Behind the violin players are dancers whose skin are scaled black who do a perfectly synchronized modern dance that is quick, sharp, and fills the terrified room. The dancers, as they pass by each of the white, slender figures, take out their slice and slice each of their heads off. The cloaked figure and the violinist all lean down to the ground and start beginning to sway as they play Gabriel, while the dancers begin to murder each and every lobby worker. So it's like this idea of like everyone, all of the people just like having this almost religious experience while people are just like killing the demons are like killing the angels around them. It's really cool. So finally, like the massive thump 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 happens. Alex realizes that, it's final boss time. We all know. And Alex comes face to face with Lucifer, and Michael, Gabriel, and Nathaniel appear behind Alex as they're ready to fight, and so Alex has a mini fight with every single cryptid, which is kind of amazing. Actually, it's really the ones that survived each of the files, because some of the cryptids didn't survive. Like, Alex didn't have to fight the Weeping Woman because she died. And she only had to fight like 2 of the harpies because only 2 of them died. And I was trying to think. What I was saying earlier, I want to know because one harpy died in the Freak Like Me, the first file, and I wonder which one it was because there's 3 of them in the final things. I was curious who do you think, Kitten? I don't know. There's only 3 of them. This is interesting. I don't know. Is that Hildegard? I don't know. So then Amani, Hildy, that was probably Hildy. Hildy died first because I think Victoire died last. I think was the last. We'll get there. Anyway, yes. So we get to Amani comes in and basically gives a pep talk to Alex, and behind Amani is basically so she says how exactly do I beat Gabriel, says Alex, and then Imani says with us. And behind Imani, and this is when everyone got so excited, behind Imani is every single dead character from any of the CVs ever. And then this is like the coolest. Oh my God, I get like an emotional. This is the coolest fucking thing ever. This part was so fucking amazing. So first, I know Wesley. Oh my God, Krista, Miss Manchu. But yes, Dave. Oh, Dave, Helly Award winner Dave. Love it. So first Alex fights the vines, and there's a very cool mechanic that I added where the CV characters could either buff Alex's roll. So I gave Alex a health bar, and if the CV characters wanted to say something encouraging or give Alex a weapon or something, then it would double her roll. So as she was going through each of the cryptids, she was kind of, and I'll try to go through. I mean, there's so many characters that help her out eventually, but it was like there's so much happening. So I think Amani helps first, and Alex destroys the vines. And then the next thing that goes over to Alex is one of the harpy, a very single. So two of them died. That's what it was. Two of them died. So that must have been Victoire was last. This must have been Victoire. And a very very emaciated harpy swoops. Oh, this makes me so sad. Very emaciated harpy swoops down and attempts to pick her up. So this is like the final. This is obviously Victoire, the final harpy, and Alex kills the last harpy. And you've got a sword, a knife, some sort, even a gun. I'm not picky. I forgot who actually helped. Oh yeah, Shiko. Shiko ended up helping, which is really cool. And everyone who played each of these characters got to come back and like say something as their character, which is so fucking cool. So Shiko gives Alex a knife to finally kill. This is my favorite part. So Alex picks up the dagger. Thank you, whoever you are. She proceeds to stab the harpy repeatedly for good measure. The harpy looks deep into Alex's eyes as it's stabbed for the final time, as if to say thank you. A little handkerchief with the embroidered V falls out of a tuft of fur in her wing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Victoire. Victoire. By the way, second place. Victoire got second place in fucking our best RP character last year. Just let it be known. We stand Victoire in this house. And so anyway, Victoire is finally put to rest. It's great. Then Alex has to fight Friendo. Friendo. Oh yeah, and Friendo and Milita fight. Just so great. I love this part. I love this part. Finally, she gets her revenge. As she drown. I guess she yes, this is, I love this picture. I might have voted for this. I know I voted for this at some point. Whatever that was voted for, nominated for, I voted for it. And oh yeah, I think Shai was the only one to try to detract from, because as a CV character, you could either help Alex or hurt Alex, and Shai was the only one that tried to hurt Alex. And Melita was like, "F you, friendo." So Shai as, what was her name? Sarah. I think Shai's character is Sarah. It's not fair. You everyone's helping you to escape. No one came when my brother was the one who needed help. Oh, which is so sad. So she tries to drown Alex. A hand helps pulling Alex while stamping on the little girl. A hand pulls Alex up while stamping on the little girl in the water with his thick Chinese clogs. The shoe belongs to none other than Miss Manchu. That's enough out of you, little girl. She looks up to Alex. Aren't children the worst? Now go avenge my sister. Which I love that. Miss Manchu coming back. So we have, I let the returning characters also come back, which is, I love it. Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. Hang on, let me see. Where are we at? Who happens next? Oh yeah, let me see. Oh, there we go. There we go. Next was the doctor. The doctor tries to hold on to Alex, and the doctor stops and falls over with an arrow in his head. As it seems like Krista basically shot him with an arrow, which is a nice little callback to CV1. Then the Mothman comes in, tries to take Alex out. And that's right, Shadow came in with Madison and said, "This is for taking her," the brown-haired woman muttered. The Mothman shrieks and crashes to the wall in its blindness and lands on the ground, still intact. Let's see, who else helps out? Her hands plunged in the dark. Who was that? I think that was that's Swift's character from CV5 that I think killed the Mothman as well. Mothman shrieks in horror. Oh, Dorothy. That was Dorothy. That's right. As Alex moves out of the way, she stands in front of a bright, shining light in the entryway. Imani looks to the ghost. It's Glowboy. Somebody got glasses. So Glowboy comes in, tries to take her out. Let me see what she does. Yeah. So Alex catches the sunglasses, gives a nod of thanks toward the guy covered in all kinds of shit. I think that ended up being Ruben. Ruben helped out. Yes, Ruben. We love Ruben. Ruben ended up helping out with fucking Glowboy. Ruben gives a signal up top, and the angels dump buckets of water on Glowboy. Glowboy smiles as he melts into the floor. Finally, Alex turns around and sees that Lucifer has grown into a mammoth of a creature, embellished in the depths of its body, so let out a massive roar. It comes down to this, Alex. I think you got this, probably. You ready? Asked Imani. Yes, I think Alex finally gets to fight the Lucifer monster. Yes. So this is when it gets going. So Alex may attempt to roll attack with D2. So it's D1, Alex misses, D2, Alex hits. And after you roll a D2, you may roll D. At this point, her attack power was 768. And of course, anyone could help or hurt that buff. Lucifer has 666 health points, but can also abide by the D2 rules. So, gets close to Magnus making his appearance. So, stop me if I miss it, because I will zoom in through this. So they get ready to fight. And the Lucifer monster tries and misses. I think it ends up killing one of the angels. Yeah, Seraphim. Ends up killing Swift. Poor Swift. Ends up killing Seraphim, unfortunately. And Gabriel watches as Seraphim falls. Forgive me, Father, for I know revenge is not of my part. So Gabriel misses. The Lucifer monster takes a swipe with Gabriel. It also misses. Gabriel attempts one more. Gabriel connects. Gabriel raises his blade. He soon slides down onto the beast. The Lucifer monster takes a stab like a butter knife in its leg and pulls out the blade, tossing it to one side. It roars loudly and makes its way to Gabriel again. This time it means business. As it stomps its way over to Gabriel in one foul swoop, it snaps up Gabriel into its maw, tosses him in the air, and swallows him whole. Gabriel is now no more. I forgot that he kills Gabriel. Gabriel and Seraphim all die. That's so wild. Okay. Wolfie says, "Do the angels? All the angels die, don't they?" I think so. Actually, I think all the angels do die, because the angels don't have that big a health points. They just have 77, which I explained in the beginning, but they wanted to fight anyway. Holy shit! This thing is tearing through angels like chocolate laxative cheesecake in a Victoria's Secret show. Wolfie, the exact opposite of Father Thomas. I love Wolfie. Wolfie's so fucking baller. Oh my gosh. So people keep buffing, continue to buff Alex. I'm trying to see when Magnus comes in. Wolfie shouts, "Get out there and kill that thing, Red, or die trying. You would be tougher than those rats with rings, since the human race is riding on your dumb competitive ass." Yes, I love Wolfie. I fucking love Wolfie. Krista also comes through and buffs. Hey, Alex, Kelly shouts, "No pressure, but my kids are counting on you, and I am counting on you. You can do this." So yes, we stand Kelly, from Circles. Miss Manchu can't help but smile at everyone working together. It even warms her cold heart. Oh. Let's see. Who else do we have? Dominus comes through and buffs. Don't let the bastards get you down. Miss Margaret buffs. Dennis Taylor, dressed in his Rollo Rollins get up, buffs. You've won your prize. Kick that fucker's ass. I gotta find where Magnus buffs. Let me see. Oh yeah, we may have our differences, but don't let this demon get the best of you, like how my demons got the best of me. Let me see. Let me click on yours, your link. Oh, there it is. An older gentleman makes his way to the front of the crowd. He seems to be carrying a harpy. My poor Belladonna, this is what happened to you. Oh. He gently holds the harpy close, placing his forehead to the harpies. He looks at Alex. This creature affected us all, even the ones who survived their attacks. I lost this woman, the one woman I ever loved, and that my whole family. I lend you what aid I can. Make sure this monster doesn't hurt anyone else. The man's hair is long and gray. His face is a mere shadow of the handsome man of science he once was. I need a picture. I need drawings. I need drawings. I'm sorry, kid. I need you to draw. I need you to draw this. Thank you. Thank you. That's your assignment. Um, Kid goes, okay, dot dot dot, or don't, whatever. That's fine. Um, oh my god, the image of Magnus holding, like the emaciated version of Victoire is so sad to me. Like, I also want to know like what the. I mean, I had some. I'll just send you some pictures. I know what pictures I had in mind for like the the old harpies when they got a little older and they got a little wirier. Anyway, yep, that's him buffing right after Dave's return. Oh yeah, Dave finally catches up with Wes. What's happening, mate? Sorry about killing you both. Actually, I love that some people use this time to like have a resolution with some of the characters. It's just so fun, so fucking fun. Um, Horace Knepp buffs. A young man, roughly early college years with gray hair, smiled a little at once, watching Alex. Seems like it's just the right person for the job. Give him hell, Alex. Chris shouted. Oh, Chris is from Circles. Circles, circles, circles. That's right. I'll do that right after the scene where Magnus carries Mary's body back to the clinic. After I do not just that scene. Yeah. Can you just do all the CV scenes, please? All the ones you're involved in. Thank you. Let me see. A tall, athletic, bulky teen screams with roar. His hair is parted to the right. Kill that fucking puppet. That is probably from CV. That's from Night of the Living Roleplay. I think that's his character from Night of the Living Roleplay. Let me see some other buffs. Oh, Brooke furrowed her eyes, shoving past the crowd. She merges to the front. Alex, I don't know if you can hear me, but I believe in you. After all, you're strong, resilient. We made this promise that the stupid game master will be taken down, and this promise can be fulfilled. I know it can. Brooke takes a deep breath. Her voice is most certainly strained, but she doesn't care. It's not the least she's worrying about. Buff. That is such a powerful buff because they had to fight at the end of Circles. So good. Fucking Brooke. Fucking Brooke, dude. That was good. That was good. I live. I live. Oh my god. So woman with shortish pinkish hair also shout out, come on, they may have killed us, but you must go on. Shortish pinkish hair. Who did Shadow play? Still like them. Oh man, you have to come to the CV retrospective when we talk about that. One of the best moments ever. Let me shortish pinkish hair. Who did Shadow play with shortish pinkish hair? Was that Madison? Must have been Madison. I don't know. From CV5, I think. And then we have Don't Give Up, Keep Fighting for Freedom, Fight for All of Us. A teenage dear Katya from CV6. Katya is there. Old man appears with a walker. He has a simple phrase of encouragement. Never fuck with a day. Yes, Robert Day from CV11. We need some CV11 representation. I like that. Maybe walks up to, yeah, there we go. Maybe walks up to Alex and whispers in the ear, I gave that man everything I had for a lie, and it cost me faith. I need you to destroy him. That's Maybe, character from CV11. I'm going to read all the buffs. I love this. The crash didn't kill me yet. You get the explosion afterward did, Lara yelled. I don't want to hear my mate try and take the blame for my death more than I have to. I love that buff. I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Oh, Wesley has a moment with Dave. Wesley almost tears up. Killing me, car exploding. A look of confusion paints over Wesley's face and shrugs. What's in the past is past, I suppose. All that matters is that you're here. What an incredible sight, too. Wesley turns towards Laura and running towards her. What she said. Seth pointing to Alex, pointing to Laura. Take him down. Icarus waits for me. Oh, I love it. Oh my god. I was like crying when I read this. This is so good. So good. So good. Oh, let me see what Dio said. Hang on. I really wanted Dave to stand around a moment before leaving with the other ghosts and say something to Amani believe, just like because Dave wouldn't hold all this living dead stuff against them, like a version of them was his friend. Oh, I love that. Oh, can we do a alternate version of this scene? Can that be in the bonus scenes? Can we make a bonus scene? Just tack it on there somewhere. I love that. Dave and Amani. I really wanted Dave and Amani to be together in another life. In another life. Let's see. Oh, Messi. Messi simply glanced at Alex, then cupped his mouth, saw her whoop his ass. The Lucifer monster looks at Alex, who seemingly has no fear in her eyes, and he says, I am Gabriel. I stand in the presence of God, and I am sent to speak unto thee and to shew thee these glad tidings. That's from the Bible. I looked it up. I didn't know. All the encouragement Alex is receiving is heartwarming, but Brooke's shout stands above all the others. Alex fights back tears. She smiles, preparing to honor the promise they made together to end this shit show for good. Upon hearing the Lucifer monster speak, Alex has the perfect movie reference to respond with, and I am Alex! Fuck yes! Fuck yes! And then I had Zoe roll a D 7,000,000 like 736100352. Put the commas where they're supposed to be, but I think that's like 73 fucking million or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't fucking know. It was a lot. It was a lot. And CV director's cut. Oi, Monty, you coming or what? The audience sobs. Fuck, man. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional now. So finally, it more than destroys the Lucifer monster. And then we get Alex, as if in slow motion, runs directly toward the Lucifer monster. The light surrounds her body. The light that surrounds her body tears through it. Its form until all it's left is a small person with white hair who before her eyes ages through all the forms that they have taken over the years until they crumble to the ground into dust. All of the forms of Gabriel / Lucifer. Lucy didn't deserve all this though. I know, but it kind of did. A little bit kind of did. So yeah, all of the forms that Lucy has taken throughout all of the CVs, plays through all the hits, and eventually crumbles to the ground. The halls of heaven are quiet. As Alex turns around, she is alone. In the far distance, Alex starts to hear sirens. Rest my voice. The sirens get louder. Buzz, clear, buzz, clear. Alex falls. She falls into a bed, a moving bed. People all around her. Clear. Her heart rate is slowing. Get her into emergency care. Alex can't really see around her. It's blurry. What's the name? Alex Rose. And this really fucked people up. How old? 97. Her birthday just passed. And I remember people in chat being like, 97? What the fuck? I thought this was her being in a filming set at first, and I was about to riot. Can you imagine I made the whole thing a dream? I desperately wanted to just like fuck with you guys and be like, the whole thing was a movie. It was a dream. The twist, there's always a twist with me, was that she's actually 97. Jesus, how do we get a heartbeat from this woman? Alex opens her eyes, fully awake. She's awake. Hello, Miss Rose. Nice to meet you. You had quite a scare there, didn't you? Alex is confused. What? Dio. Dude, you're killing me. Very confused. What? As Alex focuses her eyes, she recognizes the doctor is speaking to her. What was her name? I'm Dr. Stanfield. I'm going to be taking care of you today. I know it's difficult to speak, but can you nod a yes, a nod for yes and shake for no? That wasn't her name. Alex feels like she recognizes the doctor by a different name. She can't recall. She simply nods in response, still extremely confused. She feels like she recognizes the doctor by name. Here's the interesting thing is that I was trying to reveal all of the different people that they were, but Zoe rolled horribly through the sequence. So that one goes unnoticed. I believe. I actually don't remember who I made Dr. Stanfield one. I would have loved to have a scene where someone, maybe Kelly, which is knelt near the Lucy monster, as she dies with pity. You have someone to help and love you. Oh, this could have been avoided. Oh, right, that is Amani. Dr. Saintfoot is Amani. Thank you, Maddie. So that was Amani. So Miss Rose, we found you hooked up to. So what's interesting is that if you think about it, the person who was guiding, that's right, that's what it was, because the person who was guiding Alex through this was Amani, which makes sense that it was also her doctor. So to recall anything is like lifting a dumbbell right now. So Miss Rose, we found you hooked up to one of the old Neuralinks. I suspect, and I don't want to alarm you, but I think you were attached to it for quite a long while. Can you imagine like all the like piss and shit that was around Alex the whole time? Disgusting. I should tell you that you're lucky because there are about 8 or 9 people who were killed at that with that same model you had on years and years ago. 8 or 9 people? Anyone know anyone? So consider yourself lucky, I guess. My nurse is going to take care of you and check on your vitals. A nurse, also very familiar, walks over to Alice and puts an arm around behind her. Might have been Kelly. Yeah, might have been Kelly. Might have been a lot of people. And the nurse looks just like, what was her name? Miss Manchu. Miss Manchu's the nurse. What I can't seem to wrap my head around is how you were kept alive for so long. Someone must have been there to be feeding you and taking care of your mess. Meg. So here's the thing. Here's the big question that people were concerned about. Who was there? Someone had, because so I said earlier that it must have been really nasty that Alex had piss and shit all around her because she'd been like hooked up to the Neuralink for decades, but someone was cleaning up her mess. Who was it? Who was it? Anyway, think about it. I'll take your theories later. Anyway, Miss Callister is going to take care of you until you're ready to sit up. So she takes her out, and she gives her some sandwich. She takes her outside for a little walk, and she starts seeing people that she recognizes, and it's all people in the CV. So she sees a couple eating out on the blanket, which was Ma and V, but she can't remember their names. Who are they? I love it. I fucking love it. This makes me. Oh my god! I love that moment. I fucking love that moment. I can't remember when Fire popped into the lobby, excited about this RP is going to be 1 month. It's going to last a year. God, so sad. Oh, this was supposed to be done all the way back in 2020. God damn it. So yeah, that is Magnus and Victoire having a picnic. It's too much. It's too much. And a dog rushes and barks excitedly towards Alex. The owner pulls it back on a leash. A young girl says, "No, Artie, no, RTM, no. The dog is RTM. I love it." And the owner was named Chris or something. I'm sorry, do we know each other? And Alex says, "I don't know. Wait, who is Chris?" No, I don't remember these people. Oh, that's Krista. Duh, that's Krista. Durr. So that's Krista walking her dog. And she says, "I'm sorry, you can totally say no to this, but can I hug you?" And she says, "Okay, yeah." So Krista, the girl with the dog, is unclear why she feels so emotional around Alex, but she does, and she feels like she needs to thank her for something. And she hugs Alex, but not too hard. The girl straightens up and briskly walks away from Alex with her dog. And then 2 couples, all men, are walking home from what seems to be brunch. And the 2 men, one is has a strong German accent because I had to bring back the big old deep cut, big deep cut from from CV10, which was I don't remember them, but it's the gay couple from CV10, Christian and his husband, because I love them. They didn't know they were saved. So cute. Christian Fergie. That's right. Thank you, Dio. I cried in purple just because I was in the lobby earlier. Like, does this mean Cedric and Frankie get the happy ending? And they did. They did. They're double dates with Christian and Fergie. And what better existence? What better eternity existence would it be to just be a brunch double date couple with Christian and Fergie? I love it. Let me see. Oh, hang on. Lots of text messages. Anyway, so Miss Clarissa and says that this is enough fresh air for you tonight. And I did want to do more, but I was like, oh my god, there's so many fucking characters. But there's a lot more to do. But I thought we'd stop it here. I thought you guys got the idea. And oh yeah, one more happens. Miss Clarissa stands up. Several young children with lollipops in their hands immediately waiting in the waiting room. They all look up at Alex and wave her in unison. One of the girls rushes out of her seat and rushes to Alex, gives her a hug. Enjoy your trip and thanks you for the lolly. Alex looks back at her confused. She can see a sea of faces she recognizes from the staff to patients to janitors, all looking at her face, recognizing her somehow. Oh, right. How do I not remember this? Jesus Christ. That's Amelia giving the lady a hug. That's right. Thank you. So everyone in this area is somehow related to the CVs. And Dr. Stanfield says, "How's your stroll, Miss Rose?" She says, confused. Good. And then I had Alex start rolling down. And then, before we do that, what happened was Imani. Oh, yeah, she finally figured out who the doctor was. Imani. I know, Alex. They all do. You can let go now when you're ready, this is so sad. So I had Zoe roll a d12, and she rolled a d4. I had her roll a d4. She rolled a d4, and with d4, she got a 1. And the final thing from the CV12 is Alex lets go, which is very sad and beautiful. And like the perfect ending. The perfect ending to the CVs. Anyway. And that was it. That was CV12. We talked about it in 5 hours. It was great. I really appreciate you guys jumping in, hanging out with CV12 because it was a big one. It was a big old project, and I'm glad it was successful and that it won all the hellies and did all the good things, and everyone was involved. It was really fun. It was really fun to see everyone be so creative, and really cool to have like a big storytelling party. That's what I felt like. So it was good. I love CV12. I thought this was the most fun. It's so much fun to go back over it. And thank you all for listening and participating and helping me remember. Now you can be a DM Fire. Now Fire can take a long nap. This is all of my creativity is here. All of it is it all came out here. So at some point, the last thing we're gonna do for the CVs is do a CV retrospective. This time next week, yeah, we're gonna talk about all the CVs, all our best moments. But for now, thank you all for listening. Thanks for YouTube if you're on YouTube, and good night to CV12.
That's all, folks.
That's all.